And since then, you've seen lots of use cases where the algorithm is learning how to play simple video games, and over a number of iterations is able to perfect the performance of that video game, where the objective is very simple, right? Beat the high score. And again, you'll see videos of level 1 of Super Mario being, perfected better than any human player has ever done. So these are typically the areas of use that are very popular right now. It does come with great challenges, though. Like many sort of neural network and deep learning based approaches, the complexity of what's happening under the hood, that discovery process, if you like, two things. One, it's going to get things wrong, certainly, and probably more likely to get things very wrong to start with before it learns the lesson. So if you're actually going to put this into the real world, you've got to make sure that thing that's wrong is not ultimately damaging in some serious way, and how you're going to mitigate against that. Second thing is it can be very difficult to actually interpret and or intuit how the algorithm has reached the strategy or the conclusion it has. So, you might have solved level 1 of Super Mario, but then trying to unpick how exactly is it decided to do that there and then, and why, can be very complex, even for the specialists that are experts in this and do it every day. Of course, you try to use that in a regulated industry, like insurance. You've got to put a lot of focus in those spaces, right? And you've got to try and lift what's really going on and really understand that dynamic nature of it very, very well. So, lack of interpretability, mitigation of damage in the real world are the two really big things. And, like any machine learning model, you've got to think really carefully around how do you make sure the data that you're feeding into this is not biased, that it's not going to discriminate in some way or proxy discriminatory behavior because you don't understand necessarily the correlations or associations in the underlying data.